I really try hard to encourage our young people. And I do believe there's a sermon in every one of us. Sometimes we just have to be encouraged a little bit in order to bring it forth. Bianca G. Roger has agreed to take that leadership. She's a wonderful person. If you don't know her, get to know her. She works for Banner Good Sam Hospital. She has now been promoted to a supervisor. Our young people are trying very hard to be good citizens in this world. And as our job, we should encourage them to be Christians no matter where they are. Amen. And this young lady here has shown so much Christianity towards her co-workers, towards her classroom, and towards her parents. I mean, she's just a blessing to the world. And I enjoy it when all of us support our young people. I'd like to thank each one of you here today that came to hear her. And she has a wonderful message today. Anything is enough.
Amen. Good morning. Happy Sabbath. So, you guys will have to be patient with me because this is my first time. I got the offer from Savannah to do the sermon last Sabbath. And like she mentioned, I just was promoted to supervisor, so I felt like it's time to give my praise and thank God for his blessings, because this year has definitely been quite a journey, honestly. I've learned a lot, and I've learned more and more each day to lean on him. Amen. So, anything is enough. Just remember that. It'll come up later. First off, I want you to think about help, the word. It's a very simple word, but it means so much. It can be so complex in how you give it and how you receive it. So, what does help mean to you? I'll start out simple. When you Google help, because we all just use the internet now, it's just convenient. Help is defined as follows: to make it easier for someone to do something by offering one's services or resources. So, I don't know about you, but to me, the real definition of help is God. God is help. God is love. God is strength. God is a friend. He is the epitome of all good things. Anything and everything good and beautiful and generous. He's all of that. It's amazing. I kind of feel like being a young person, you go through a lot of trials. You're tested a lot, like peer pressure, and you want to be cool, you want to hang out with people, but so it's kind of hard to let go of that control. You rebel a little bit, but like I said, this year I've really learned to just let go and let God. Amen. So, where do you receive help? Where do you get your help? In all aspects of your life, in the home, your workplace, in your schools, anything and everything, in all necessary places of life, in places you wouldn't even think you need help. He knows you need it before you do. So, over the past year, I've actually struggled at this new place of employment. When I first started out, I didn't have any experience at all in being in management. When I started out as a lead, no experience, just zero. But they were willing to take me in and train me. And at first it was good, and then it faltered a little bit. The management team they were failing, honestly. The system was a little broken, and when you come into an environment like that, the employees, they don't have trust. They're bitter. They're just not very easy to persuade. So when I came aboard, they were just kind of like, here she comes with just more promises. She doesn't mean it. She won't follow through. And God being in my life, and he really touched me and encouraged me to stick it out. And something actually interesting I didn't think about, my mom, my dad told me this not too long ago. Bianca, you may not realize it, but you're an example for those people. I said, really? Me? Like a 22-year-old? Like, how could they learn anything from me? I mean, all these people were like 50 plus, been around the block a couple times, could teach me a thing or two. And I'm just, how could I be an example? Well, like Savannah, thank you, said, just by being kind, being a listening ear. Some of these people were just they had so much doubt. And just me being there for them and listening and actually being genuine and sincere about what their needs were, what they needed help with. It's amazing how you can just be an example just by being there for them. Every time I thought about, like in the beginning, it was rough. The first couple months, there were so many things I ran into, and I wanted to go. I said, I came here for a new start. I was ready for a challenge, and this is not what I signed up for. But every time I thought about quitting, my family just said, stick it out. Just pray about it. God, he's got a plan for you. He's molded the way for you. Just stick it out. So I did. And I got to tell you, it's amazing the power of prayer. I cannot stress that enough. Even if you don't pray enough yourself, and I'll be honest, I'm guilty. I pray more than I did before, but even if you're not even praying yourself, you don't realize how many people are praying for you all the time. Family, loved ones, friends, even coworkers. You'd be surprised when you create that relationship with them and they worry about you. When they come and ask you, how are you doing? They actually mean it. They're sincere. Sometimes when you go to work or you're at school, they just say, hey, how are you? And they go on. They don't really intend to hear what you're saying. These people, when you create that bond, they're sincere. They do care. So with loved ones, prayers, family, their support, along with God's guidance, that's what made me go back every day. Every day. It was every day just a constant struggle. So when he saw fit for me, I would turn. If it was necessary to stop, I would stop. And that's the thing I learned to constantly remind myself of, that we are on God's time, not the other way around. That's something you have to remember. It's actually a very relaxing notion to know that he has a plan already for you. It's not necessary to stress. You don't have to worry. And I struggle. Some days I still do. It's easy to get caught up in our day-to-day routine. We forget to slow down and just stop, just think, just pray. Ask him, Lord, what am I supposed to be doing? Where am I supposed to be going right now? He is in control of the situation. He already has a plan out for you. Honestly, though, that's something that I struggle with a lot, too, is that control. It's hard to let go. It really is. I think it's become so ingrained in our nature that you feel like you need to control everything. You've got bills to pay, you've got kids to feed, you've got a job to work. And it's easy to just get caught up in that, like, I need to make sure I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this. Just slow down. He's got it. It's taken care of. It really is. And I used to think that people were I used to think that was amazing, astounding how people used to say that to me. Just let go and let God. I was like, what are you talking about? Because my faith wasn't quite there yet, and now it is. And now I see how easy it is to really just let go and let God. So every day I'm learning, and my faith grows stronger every day, which makes it easier every time. I'm just like, God, take the wheel. I'll sit in the back seat. I know you got it. You're put in certain situations to intentionally remind you that you need his help, that you need to rely on him, that with only him, all things are possible. I've been, like I said, in so many difficult situations with this job that it was just a constant reminder, lean on him more and more. So one scripture. 1 Corinthians 10:13. Give me a minute. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. Amen. So whatever you're going through, whatever difficult times, whatever tribulations, whatever road you're going down, he's not going to leave you. He's right there by your side every step of the way. Amen. And it's amazing. There are no words to describe it, that kind of love that he has for you, that he's there with you every step of the way. Don't even need to worry about it. Amen. So rely on him. He wants you to ask for his help. Why do we receive help? Why? It's pretty obvious, right? He loves us. In John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. His only son. Like, do you understand the profoundness of that? Like, his only son, that's for all of us. Wow. I don't know about you, but that is love. To me, it's pure, it's raw, compassionate, unforsaking, forgiving, all-consuming love. It's a beautiful thing that he has a special heart, a special place for you in his heart. Like, each and every individual one of us, he's got room for all of us. So, how do you receive the help? It's simple. You ask for it. Claim it, and you'll be blessed. Amen. Learn to rely on him is what he's there for. In Matthew 7:7, ask, and it shall be given. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. Tell him you need him. Tell him that you need that strength, that you need that love, that you need that encouragement to go on. Tell him that you need him in your life, and he will be. One of the most beautiful things about God is he keeps his promises. He keeps his promises, and for me, that is a huge thing. I cannot stand it when people don't keep their promise, and that's a precious thing. He does. He'll never let you down. In Hebrews 13:5-6, let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For he has said, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee, so that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear for what man shall do unto me. Amen. So, something kind of funny. I take the bus, and it's trying. It has its moments. You have times when the bus just doesn't show up at all. Not sure what happened. Don't know if there's problems, mechanical stuff, but it's funny because you gotta stop and think about it like this. If he's tripping you up, if he's putting a bump in the road, if he's making you late, you gotta stop and think, okay, what's the problem? Why am I being intentionally slowed down? You never know. Maybe there was an accident. Maybe you would have got hit. There's a reason for everything he does. As it's like, what? Like, gosh, I'm running late, man. But you never know. Better late than not at all, right? Right. So, who's our helper? Right. In Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, with all your heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. Amen. He knows the way. You just got to tell him, Lord, tell me which way to go. GPS, he's instant. He's giving you the direction you need. There's no need to guess. You don't need to figure it out. He is instructing you. Just listen. So now the question is, where do we come into play in all this? One of the scriptures from our last week's lesson was 2 Corinthians 1:3-4. Blessed be God, even the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of mercies, and the God of all comfort, who comforteth us in all our tribulation, that we may be able to comfort them which are in any trouble, by the comfort wherewith we ourselves are comforted of God. So he comforts us so that we can what? Comfort others. That's right. So, how can you help those in need? This is something I thought was kind of interesting. So many people will lead you to believe that there's a price attached to helping. Like, you need to spend this much money to help them, or you need to spend this much time to help them. There's no price. Anything is enough. Helping can be just as easy as saying a prayer for that person. It's the thought that counts. You're thinking about them. You're wishing for their well-being. It's that easy. But also, this is something I thought it touched me when I saw it. It's a quote by the Dalai Lama. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. So, helping somebody can be as simple as a listening ear. Just be there to listen so they can relieve that stress, let it out, to vent. You can give a suggestion or advice. And don't hold it against them if they don't take it. Just be there and, this is what you could do if I was in your situation. Offer a helping hand. And this one actually is one of my favorites. It's smile. Be friendly. Like, honestly, you see somebody in the street passing by you. There's so many people who are just in turmoil right now. They're stressed. They've got so much going on in their lives. And you never know. You pass by somebody on the street or at work, just a simple compliment. Hello, how are you doing? With sincerity, you don't know how that might have just turned their day around. You might have just made their day. It's that easy. And me working with all these people from different backgrounds and everything, it's something they ask me. It's so funny. They say, Bianca, where do you get that energy from? Like, just every day you come in and you're just always smiling, always happy. And I was like, one day it just fell out of my mouth. I was like, gotta give glory to God. Honestly, that's what it is. And also I learned from an early age that your situation is truly what you make it. If you say you're gonna have a bad day, then you will have a bad day. If you be positive and optimistic and say, you know what, God, nope, I'm not gonna let them get in my way. It's gonna be a beautiful day. And it will be. Other things you could do: volunteer, donate, not necessarily money, but your time. Teaching. You never know. You teach and then you learn from others. You gain perspective. Do a chore. Oh, even better, technology. Who loves technology? I do. It could be as easy as just emailing or texting somebody. Savannah, she is like the closing of my day, and I love that. No, don't feel bad. I love that. I get off of work almost every day, and there's a text message waiting for me. I already know who it's from, Savannah. That is just, I can't even describe it, but I appreciate it. I really do. It's a beautiful thing because, like, I may have had a rough day, the employees, just one thing after another, but that, it just closes my day. It's like, it's going to be all right. Recognize somebody if you want to help them out. Let them know you're not being missed. You're not being, taken for granted, not being noticed. People pay attention when you least expect it, but let them know. It's good to hear that encouragement. Be patient. That's a big one. Patience. Love them with all their faults. A hug, a kind word, spending time with them. And this one is actually one I struggle with the most, is help your enemies. Ooh, that's a hard one. I'm being honest, because some of the people I work with, they, if tried to intentionally turn things around for me, but they just can't quite get there because I'm still there. God said, no, you're not going to mess this up for her. Luke 6:35 says, but love ye your enemies, and do good, and lend, hoping for nothing again. And your reward shall be great, and you shall be the children of the highest, for he is kind unto the unthankful and to the evil. The great thing, too, about help is it's a two-way street. It's not just one party benefiting and the other's not. It helps both ways. It makes you feel better about yourself, makes you humble. You create a connection with that person on a deeper level. It's not just, you're an associate. You may be improving somebody else's situation just by a little thing. Just makes the biggest difference. And makes the world a better place, a little bit at a time. Kindness, it multiplies. Get rid of the negativity, the cancer. Just cut it out. It's not necessary, it's not needed. So, I leave you with one last thing. And this is William Shakespeare. It says, how far that little candle throws his beams, so shines a good deed on a weary world. So, don't be afraid to be that shining light in a dark world. Be the help, be the hope that God needs you to be.